friends. How are you? It's good to be here. I want you to picture this. I want you to picture July, late July, early August, Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm 9 years old, and I'm out in our front desert with my friend Johnny. And at the time, I thought Johnny and I were doing what most normal 9-year-old kids did in their front desert in Las Vegas. You know, they don't have front yards in Vegas. They have deserts. It gets so hot there in the summer. You've heard, you know, you can cook an egg on the sidewalk. Well, in Las Vegas, you can cook like steak and burgers and ribs. It's really hot. So anyway, Johnny and I are out in our front desert, and we're playing with army men, a Bic lighter, and explosive devices, like what I think most normal 9-year-old kids do. And Johnny has his ridge up here, and he has all his army men, and we're melting the army men with the Bic lighters, screaming and everything, and I'm over here, you know, with mine. We've got airplanes. We're pretending we're in a big battle, you know. And then we have these intricate M80s tied together in the middle, you know. The crescendo of the battle. We light the match. Boom, there's this huge explosion. And to our great misfortune, we happen to be on a fire ant hill. And thousands of fire ants just light up everywhere, you know, go over. And Johnny, trying to get out of the way, slips and boom, falls right on the fire ant hill. And hundreds of ants light up all on him and start stinging him uncontrollably, you know. He starts screaming, ah, and he's screaming. And I'm like, what to do? I don't know what to do, you know. So I was sort of big for my age, so I scooped him up, and I went running into the house, and I'm like screaming, Mom, Mom. My mom was sleeping. She worked 3 jobs. She worked graveyard, so she was sort of sleeping in the middle of the day. And I laid him down in the hallway, and I said, Mom, Mom, Johnny's hurt, Johnny's hurt. And I hear this boom, the door swings open. My mom comes running down the hallway, da-dooga-da-dooga-da-dooga, you know. She's a very large woman, my mother, hence the da-dooga-da noise, right? She comes in, she sees the situation. She immediately has empathy for Johnny and his pain. She runs back into her room, into the bathroom. She gets a pair of tweezers, and she comes back and she starts picking all the tweezers, you know, picking all the little stingers out of Johnny's body. She rushes into the kitchen, gets some baking soda, and she puts it in a little cup, and she mixes it with water, creates this little salve, and she starts putting salve on Johnny's wounds, and Johnny's tears start to settle down, and he calms down a little bit, and I look over at Johnny, and his eyes are like that big. And I look over at my mom, and she's completely naked. And Johnny's like, your mom's naked. And I'm like, so? No, me, friend. With you in front of mom, naked. Weird, strange, and unusual. I'm like, whatever, dude, you know. My mom, it's just, I tell you that story to give you an idea. It was a little weird in my house. You know, I was 9 years old. I'm like, I guess everybody's not naked in their house. You know? A little strange and unusual. Johnny confirmed that for me, you know? And matter of fact, on a serious note, things were very unusual in my home. I was brought into this world through an act of violence. As a young person, I was lit on fire. I was used as a human dartboard. I suffered all manner of abuse, sexual, physical, emotional abuse. My parents were alcoholics and drug users. My step-siblings were drug dealers and just generally crazy. I started drinking and doing drugs when I was 9 years old. I have a 10-year-old right now. His name is Jacob. I can't even imagine Jacob doing the things that I was doing when I was 9. I lived on the fringe of the mob and motorcycle gang members and just general crazy people in Las Vegas growing up. I suffered unspeakable abuse at the hands of people who were supposed to care for me. And that's pretty serious. There's a lot of kids in this situation, more than you think, right? Sometimes I'll be channel surfing, and I'll be watching cable, channel 17. Sometimes I'll be watching other stations, and this Cops comes on. How many of you guys see Cops all the time? Cops. Well, I sit there, and every time Cops comes on, I stay there and I watch it. And my wife's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm watching Cops. She goes, why are you watching Cops? I'm like, because it makes me feel like I was a child again, you know? It makes me feel comfortable. And she's like, you're freaked out. I'm like, yeah, of course I am, yeah. I know that. But so sometimes I tell people to describe the way I grew up was like a drug-crazed version of the Brady Bunch on an episode of Cops. That's the kind of environment I grew up in.